Hello there, how are you doing?
Hey Gerry, how are you?
I believe you're my next contact as well.
Yeah, indeed.
What's all this you've got?
This is all to do with chocolate.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so we've got some bits and pieces here that hopefully will perhaps tell you this chocolate story.
Okay.
Yeah, so chocolate grows on trees. Yeah, not in little purple packets.
You don't get them in like this then at all?
No, we don't get these ingredients. This is the makeup of the chocolate bar.
Okay.
Okay, so chocolate grows as a natural a natural seed. We take the cocoa beans and they grow in the warm regions. You don't get them growing around in this country at all.
Right.
So it grows in the sort of an equatorial band around the world. So 15 degrees either side of the equator, we can grow cocoa plants.
And that's what they look like. I didn't expect it to look like that.
That's a dried one. It's quite dark, obviously. But when they're ripe, they're lovely bright colours. They're yellow and orange and red. And inside those pods, when they've just ripened, there's a lovely white pulp with a lot of seeds.
Right.
And these are the seeds. These are the dried seeds of the cocoa bean. So they're the little bean, the beast that has the chocolate nib inside there that we can make chocolate from. So our chocolate comes from Belgium.
Okay.
So we buy good quality Belgian couverture, and couverture is the proper name for chocolate.
Right.
So when those beans arrive in the factory, the first thing they do to them is roast them.
Okay.
Like roasting coffee, they bring out the flavour with the roasting process. So when we've got them at that stage, we then grind them down.
Yeah.
We take away the shells and we grind them down.
And
what we end up with is what we call cocoa nib. And this is an edible product. It's 100% cocoa solid, and it's very bitter and very, very...
But you could eat that at this stage.
As it is, yeah. Right. We can actually use that as an ingredient. We can incorporate it back into chocolate and give that crunch and extra bite of chocolate flavour. They grind that down further and further, and what they end up with is a liquor. Right. And then we press that liquor in a huge hydraulic press and create two products from it, cocoa solids and cocoa butter. And this product is unique. It's a unique food in the world because it's the only food that melts at 1 degree lower than body temperature. Okay. So therefore, in cosmetics, it's perfect because it's absorbed in our skin. But when we eat it, more importantly, when we eat it as chocolate, it melts in our mouth very quickly. Right. So the flavour comes through straight away. Yeah. So when we have got this far, we add these two ingredients back together in the chocolate factory. If you've seen a block of chocolate that's got 70 or 65%,
so it's a percentage of that and
70% of that and 30% of that, and that gives us a dark chocolate.
Why is it separated and then added back?
Because it's not in those proportions.
Ah, right, so you separate it so you can have the chocolate.
So we can have what we want to do, because we want to make white chocolate for you.
Right, yeah.
And therefore, white chocolate, we don't want any cocoa solids. We want cocoa butter and milk solids.
Right.
And then also there's some natural sugar, and very often in a white chocolate we put some vanilla in there as well, because that enhances and brings out the flavour of the cocoa butter.
So what stage does it come to you here then?
We get it as drop form. We get it as small callets, they're called, and they're like little tiny chocolate buttons.
Can we see some? Is that all
right?
right?
Yeah, we'll take you through to the chocolate room and then you can have a look.
Okay. Cheers to that, right?
Thanks.
See?
This is our chocolate room.
Right, okay. And this is where it all starts then, this is how it first comes in?
It does indeed, yeah. And when the chocolate arrives to us, it comes to us like so in 10 kilo bags, in callet form, sort of small drops like so. And the most important part that we have to do to chocolate is temper it. We put these drops into the machine, and then when we arrive in the morning, the chocolate in there is melted. We add in some more callets, and we turn the temperature down to 32 degrees. And that way, the chocolate goes down through its temperature curve and creates a tempered chocolate. A chocolate that when it sets, it has a nice shine on the outside of it. It looks delicious to eat. And it's also, when you bite into it or when you break it, it breaks with a sharp snap, with a crack. It's not soft or not very pleasant. Robert here, you can see, is making chocolate curls. So what we do is we take some of the chocolate and we spread it onto a stainless steel sheet, and we massage it slightly. So what we're doing is we're just encouraging it to set in a very even, uniform shape. It gets to a certain level of setting, so we have to just let it set a little bit more, and then we can use the scraper and we can slowly slide the scraper under the chocolate and curl it to make these cigarette curls, and which we use for decoration of desserts or a wedding cake, or we can make small moulded chocolates or chocolate truffles. And this here, we've got a tray of truffles there. These truffles are a vanilla ganache inside. We beat it up, pipe it out into small bulbs, and then when they've firmed up, we coat them in tempered chocolate by hand, allow them to set, give them a second coat, and then roll them in these white chocolate shavings. And the last little one I bought there to show you is we make some beautiful edible shoes. And there you've got a pair of white size 4 shoes decorated with milk chocolate.
Right, and then that's them ready to go out then, is it?
That's right, yeah. And you can have a look at them in the shop.
Ah, super, let's go through
All right,
them.
no problem at all. Do you want me to bring the chocolates to eat as well?
You know I do. Let's go.
Okay, Gerry, no problem.
Okay, right, here we go. Right, I'll shift these out the way. There's there. I'm a big fan of white chocolate myself anyway, I really like it. What about you? Is it a favourite of yours?
I prefer, if I'm choosing chocolate, I will eat milk chocolate. A good quality milk chocolate with maybe about 38% cocoa content.
No, that's your ideal, is it?
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, that's
delicious. That white, I mean, you'll never get fresher chocolate than that because it's only just been tempered, and it's as it should be eaten.
How did you first get involved with it? What kind of took your fancy with it?
No, well, it was a family business, and my mum and dad sort of started the bakery off, the small bakery off, when I was about 14, and they decided that I was going to be a totally unemployable teenager. Really? So it would be good to keep me off the streets, keep me somewhere contained. And
you used chocolate as a kind of way of doing that eventually, sort of moved you into it?
No, it was what I wanted to do, and they were great because my dad had always been a baker, and I followed him. It was all right.
Because you've expanded it, to say the least. I mean, also I know you've got the shop and stuff downstairs, but you've also got, I've seen like a schooling part of it.
We have a school on the top, yes.
You're really branching out that way then, isn't it?
The school was a spin-off from the book that I wrote. I wrote a book about 5 years ago. When you actually buy a recipe book, you don't read it, you look at the pictures, and then you have a go at making it, and without reading the instructions, people phone and sort of say, can you just tell me what I did and why, and then the last line of the conversation always used to be, could you not show me how to do that?
Yeah.
So you
thought you eventually would then?
Maybe the school would be a good idea, and it works very well.
Well, see, I'm thinking about doing a little bit of cooking then. I was thinking about using some sort of white chocolate. I mean, what type of chocolate do you think is ideal for cooking with? I mean, there is cooking chocolate, isn't there, as well?
The cooking chocolate is obviously designed for cooking, but if you want flavour and you want something which will give you that, wow, this is so good.
Yeah, that sounds like the thing.
You need to use a good quality couverture. So the Belgian chocolate that we use is really nice.
So, I mean, is there a percentage of cocoa you think should be in there? I mean, obviously with white chocolate not in that case.
There's no cocoa solid content, but it should have at least a 28 to 30% cocoa butter content.
Superb.
And that's what will give you a good flavour.
Right, well, at least I've got an idea then. I appreciate it. Do you mind if I sort of take that with me to finish off?
No problem at all. Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good
luck. Hope it all goes well.
So do I.
Thank you. Bye now.